Patrick McNeil joined now by Cape Breton Eagles head coach Jake Grimes. Jake, club coming off a tough loss Sunday afternoon, the odd Halloween afternoon start. What were your thoughts on the game against Gatineau?
Well, I thought Gatineau has obviously a lot of size, and they pushed us physically. It was tough for us to respond to that for sure. We hung around in the game, yes, and had a push late in the game, which was good. But end of the day, we've got to be able to push back.
Kind of hints on something that's come up in a couple of player interviews I've done that people are going to hear soon. Multiple guys in the Eagles have just said, we have to get back to playing our game. That seems to be easier said than done. Why is that? And it's obviously an issue you see a lot in junior hockey with a variety of teams.
I think we started to stray from it just a touch with some fatigue. That can't be the excuse anymore. We had an excellent practice. We kind of did a systems check and just a whole coverage of how we want to play. The guys did quite well with it. We're trying to get it back and have them understand that we're asking them to do things that are not comfortable. They're not easy. They're not shortcuts. They're not avoiding physicality. They're not avoiding confrontation. They're not avoiding hard work. All these things are part of how we were playing to be, and we were tough to play against. We're missing our biggest player, obviously. Gerard up front, who was scoring goals and hitting and doing all that as well. But inching our way back toward the way we were, and for most of the season, and then trying to better that is what we need to do.
Well, one guy that has been producing as of late, Ivan Ivan, on a league-leading goal-scoring streak at the moment. We always knew he had that in his game at 17. It's nice to see that come to fruition. What's he doing right?
His release is outstanding. He's got better strength and speed than when he was here last. Obviously, he's had a year to develop. He's always been focused. He's been a guy that was well coached, in part by his father, who's a longtime pro and coach. Before he even got to us, he's ultra motivated, and his goals are coming in all different ways, turning out to be the guy that we thought he'd be.
I've heard from multiple coaches and players as Quebec Maritime games resume this year about what these trips do to help bond teams. Just tell us about the value in that and how you as a coaching staff prepare with practice, rest, etc., and balancing all that.
That's right. We've got to have our travel fit in at the right times. We've got to be sleeping in the right cities and hotels. Help us best maximize the trip. We've got to take advantage of our pregame skates in the morning, meal times, all these things in and around, and find the pockets where some of the guys from the areas can see their families and parents and leave the team for a meal or two and then get back with us.
Yeah, a lot of organization goes into that. Recent struggles aside, you've been happy with your defense this year, and I don't know if we can say it's a drawback, but one thing that's been tough is getting Emile Perron in the mix because he's a rookie in this sea of veterans, but I thought he looked pretty good at getting more opportunity when you put defense up in the forward core. What can you tell us about Emile's play the last few games?
That's right. I mean, that obviously helped him a lot. He's the youngest and greenest, newest defenseman on the team. The 6 guys that are ahead of him are veteran guys and all playing extremely well. So his ice time has been a little bit minimized, and some of it has had to do with him also catching on, playing more assertive, being a part of the team concepts and getting better himself as a young guy. Both things have to happen. We created room for him to be a 6 last game. It's not something we can do every night because our 6D are elite guys that play defense, and they've got careers too. Rodzinski's a very strong guy. He's played a wing a little bit. He came up to help us with some size and physicality. And then Emile was able to play in with the 5-6 spot, a regular shift all night. I would say half of his night was pretty strong, and then he was still developing in the other half. But he took advantage of his time, and it was good to see him have a decent game.
Yeah, I think, too, it's tougher for defensemen at 16. It's a later maturing position, so people have to remember that, too, watching him play this year. Lastly, we look ahead to this game against Rimouski tonight. I know you probably don't know a lot about these guys. Tell us what you expect from this game and how difficult, in general, is it to prepare for Quebec-based opposition?
First of all, it's exciting. It's really exciting for the guys from the province and from the cities and in and around the cities that we're going to get back into Quebec and play. It's real exciting. Whether you just got here this year or whether you're a guy that was here the entire year last year and never got back once and never saw your parents come to see you play once. That's the biggest thing we're looking at. We're looking at the excitement factor and the energy that we're going to build off of that. I also look at every single rink up there is completely different. The atmosphere is different. The way the fans are is different. Those are the biggest parts that we're excited about. Plus, when you're on the road, you're team building, you've got the guys together, guys can see their families. I think it's going to be a real good buzz. As far as Rimouski goes, we're going to do a lot of studying for them on our way up. I do know they're playing a real good game. They've done well, and it's our first opponent. We'll be watching 2 or 3 of their games.
Yeah, first time since February 2020. The Eagles are in Quebec. It's really hard to believe. Well, Jake, great insight as always. Good luck tonight. Thanks for this.
Thanks so much.